really excited about this presentation, actually. Just so you guys know, I'm Lorenzo Suna. I'm one of the organizers of this series. Today we're going to have Nitin, Sanjakila talk to us, Hoang, and David Pierce. David Pierce is a biochemistry major. He plans to become a doctor someday. Hoang is international, recently decided international studies major, and Nitin is a mathematics major. So let's enjoy the talk.
So the title of our presentation is Using Rainwater to Foster Peace in Rural Bangalore. So before we talk about our project, we really want to talk about the organization that gave us the primary amount of the funding. So Projects for Peace was an initiative started by Catherine Wasserman Davis, and when she turned 100, she decided that it would be a good use of her money to donate $1 million a year to sponsor 100 student projects that were intended to foster peace throughout the world and to promote student development.
And basically, we got into this whole application process through ISP, which is interdisciplinary science program. And basically, in that class, one of our assignments was to create a proposal from a scientific perspective for this whole topic of bringing peace to the world. And from this scientific approach, we then took it to a more humanitarian style, and we added, I guess, a lot more on what peace is to us, and because the scientific definition was less abstract and more definite. So we basically, once we had figured out what we wanted to do, which was work in India, we tried to find out what exactly was going on in India, what was wrong in India, and what we could do to help India. And one of the major problems was, in the state of Karnataka, they have many water issues that all relate to not having a proper source of water. And some of the problems that were there was fluoride. Other problems were basically sanitation and things of that kind in terms of water. And we basically saw that fluoride in this specific region, which is basically a corner of the state of Karnataka, was a very prominent issue. So there was a bunch of NGOs that were working there, and we found one NGO, Rainwater Club, that was doing a lot of work there, and we contacted them, and that's what we meant by networking with NGOs. And with their help, we redefined our definition of what peace is as basically a sense of inner security that allows someone to live happily and free of worry, with the freedom and privilege to pursue their own goals. And as we said, one of the prominent issues was fluorosis. And this is just a picture of a kid who we saw that had fluorosis.
So to combat fluorosis, which is caused by consumption of high concentration of fluorine in water, in borewell waters in India. So the way we decided to combat it is to utilize rainwater harvesting systems, which is just a concrete chamber that is able to store water for use year-round, which utilizes the roof of the house to collect the water. And it has a basic filter mechanism. It's a very simple filtering system, just sand, charcoal, and stone. But that's what makes it great, because simplicity makes it effective and sustainable.
And we really wanted to implement this particular system because it is so simplistic and so simple, it's easy to implement it very inexpensively. So we could implement multiple systems as opposed to just one very high-tech system.
And this is just a picture of David getting water out of one of the systems.
This is probably the first time we had rainwater.
Yeah. It tastes very sweet.
And this was one of the villagers that we had met, and he had this system at his house. And what was interesting about his system design was that the pump was actually inside of their prayer room. And this shows a sense of cultural and religious attachment to these systems, and how much water actually meant to these people, which was a very important thing in our project, because this system would not have been as effective if the people didn't want it and didn't feel like they needed this system. So that was a very big aspect.
Alright, so the organization we work with was Rainwater Club, which is a subdivision of Bio and Environmental Trust, which is the larger NGO that works all throughout India. And the founder of the Rainwater Club is Vishwanath. And we met with him only briefly, but we had a really great interaction with him, and we knew that it was definitely the organization we wanted to work with. So our primary contact from America was Nathan Stell, and he was in India, but unfortunately was not there while we were there. But he really helped organize everything and really get us connected with the NGO in India and help us really get started up and know what to expect when we arrived, know a lot. And then our primary contact in India was Karan, and he really helped us out in India with all our problems, because we did encounter quite a few. And he really helped us stay happy and above everything that we did encounter that was difficult. And this is a picture of Karan. This was on the way to Pavagadh,
which is the set of villages we were working in. And basically, we had thought about this while we were in India and prior to India, what exactly we wanted to accomplish while we were there. And one of the major things was that we wanted to oversee the construction, or at least as much of it as possible. We wanted to make sure that the construction workers had the right idea, and that the NGO that was working there knew exactly what they should be doing and what we wanted them to do and accomplish in that time. And basically, we wanted to document all of our experiences and have something to come back so that we can show the people what kind of problems are in that area, and basically try to get more attention to this problem of fluorosis in India and water problems there in general. And we also wanted to educate the local children about sanitation and the relevance of the RWH system. And this is very important, because without educating them about the system, it's just meaningless to give them the system, because it won't be used in the future unless they know why it's there in the first place.
So at this point, the road to India refers to, we received word that we won the grant, and we were planning for our actual implementation of this project. So a lot of things changed between that time and from the time we actually went to India. We changed the initial plan of our project from focusing on one village and basically installing systems in that whole entire village to 5 schools in the surrounding area, one in each village. So this change had a change in budget. So we had to ask for donations and started doing donations. Yeah, we established a website online where we collected donations.
And like one of the like Lon was saying, one of the implications of our change from the village to 5 schools was that we had much less money than we needed in order to implement the project. But we decided that trying to collect the money would be worth the effort, because basically the change from the village to the schools meant that we would be working with a larger amount of people, because one single village would have meant that we would have had about 20 households, whereas if we had done 5 schools, we would have been able to connect with all like 5 to 6 villages that were attached to these 5 schools. And this was when we landed in Bangalore, and which is basically the capital of the state, Karnataka. And we landed there, and this was just our basically our introduction to India.
So one of the main things we noticed in India was the such discrepancy in development. So this is an example of a small little town we saw that was primarily constructed of things that had been thrown out, and people were just living in this area. But then right next to this lot, there was massive development of giant skyscrapers. It was such a large discrepancy and a shock to our system. We've never seen anything like that in terms of such a quick development in this area.
And this is in Bangalore, which is labeled the tech capital.
How much is this occupied?
This whole complex was still under construction while we were there, but I think it was supposed to house over 10,000 people.
And it seemed like a lot of complexes were being built like this, like so many that we were just like, this is just ridiculous.
Yeah, you saw this everywhere. There would be huge buildings being built, and then surrounding that, there would be a lot of people, just homeless people living there.
Is the goal to move some of those people from that first camp we saw, into these apartments? Or are they strictly for...
Oh no, this is strictly commercial. This was just in Bangalore. This is prior to our project actually starting. This was just our first view of India almost.
Right, but I mean, these are, I guess, uncapped.
These are all private buildings. These are hotels, yeah.
Yeah, we see ads of like actually to advertise for people to invest in buying these hotels.